It was the Dark Ages when the Black King and his robots ruled the Earth. Some found the courage to resist this tyrant. Among these freedom fighters, one stood out above the rest. He was the last best hope of humankind, and they called him...
For the Black King! Destroy him!
Brenda! Take wing!
So, Kashan, another time.
Kashan's damaging attack on his robot assembly plant has slowed the Black King's offensive against the human resistance forces. Enraged, the tyrant has ordered...
Sorry, sir. Though Kashan seemed to be momentarily weakened, I'm afraid number 1 was ultimately a failure.
Bring me Professor Hannibal.
I salute thee, Lord and Master.
My dear Professor, I presume that as a scientist you believe in the theory of natural selection. That process by which a species' weakest links are weeded out.
Of course. I mean, well, that is...
You are mumbling. The survival of the fittest, Professor. Does that ring a bell?
Well, you see, it's not really my field, sir. I'm a cybernetic engineer.
Precisely the point I want to make. You are a failure in your field of expertise. Failure and incompetence left unchecked can do great damage to the natural order of things. It is the weakest links that put the entire chain of existence at risk. That cannot be allowed. The weak must be sacrificed for the good of the strong. All of your most effective leaders have believed this to be true. It's the one point on which humans and I agree. The robots you built are useless. I hope for humanity's sake you are not typical of the species. Farewell, Professor.
can still make it.
This has the coordinates of the rendezvous point. Take it. I've reached the end of the line. Everything's riding on your shoulders now, Luna. That weapon you're carrying could change the whole course of the war. Whatever happens, you gotta see to it, and it gets to Admiral Rudolph in Australia.
The Admiral will get his gun, but what about you?
Huh? They'll be here any minute. You better get moving.
No, I'm not leaving you behind. Get up, soldier, on your feet.
This is no time for heroics. Either you go or we both die.
But, Lieutenant...
You heard me. Get moving. While you still can. Damn. I wished I'd met that girl at peacetime.
Another second and I
Why are you still here? Are you out of your mind?
Kashan, what's wrong? Where have you been all this time? I've been looking everywhere for you. What's the matter? Kashan, what is it?
Come, Swan. Tell me what you've seen.
Are you all right?
Luna, is it you? What are you doing here?
I knew it. I knew it was you all the time, Tetsuya. Don't turn away. Oh, I've missed you so much. I've searched the world. You saved my life at Castle Promise, but then you left me there. Why, Tetsuya?
I am not Tetsuya. The Tetsuya Azuma you once knew is no more.
I don't understand you. Who are you?
I am nobody. I barely even remember the person I used to be. My past is lost due to what I've become. The tyrant who calls himself Black King began his existence as Android BK-1, part of a global environmental protection project devised by my father. My father, now known throughout the world as the Mad Dr. Azuma, a traitor to his kind, the scientist responsible for the war that led to the fall of man.
You're forgetting that my father suffered persecution as well for his association with yours. But they were both good men, with the best interests of humanity at heart. BK-1 was a horrible accident. No one could have predicted that the android would malfunction.
He hasn't malfunctioned, that's the worst part. He's merely fulfilling the primary imperative of his programming, to preserve the Earth's environment. And the best way he sees to accomplish this is to eliminate the species which most endangers it, namely the human race. So you see, far from malfunctioning, Android BK-1 is fulfilling my father's design all too efficiently. And since it was my father's creation that brought this nightmare into being, it must be his creation that puts an end to it. This body standing before you is his supreme achievement, a hybrid of robot and man. I am Tetsuya no longer. I have given up my past and my very humanity in order to redeem my father's name. I'm sorry, Luna. I'm a thing of circuits and cyberchips, not flesh and blood. I can't even be sure how long the memory of Tetsuya Azuma will remain alive within me. Once it's gone, Luna, it's dangerous for you to be with me. Neither of us knows what I'm capable of. I may prove no better than that murderous Black King.
Stop it! Stop pushing me away. You've no right to take on the troubles of all humanity by yourself. Here, look. This device is my father's final legacy. A weapon that's harmless to humans but destroys robots and androids.
Where is your father now?
Gone. Executed by the Black King, but I managed to retrieve this prototype and plans from his lab. Recently, I made contact with the Human Resistance Army Strategic Command in Australia. In 3 days, I'm to meet with a courier and hand over the gun. They think it might change the course of the war. Why don't you come with me? We can leave this place, go to Australia.
And what then? I belong in the line of fire, not behind the lines. I am an android now, built for battle. I will escort you as far as the rendezvous point, but no further. From there, you must continue the journey by yourself. Perhaps in Australia, you will learn to forget me.
Our research lab has... As you can see, the more powerful the force directed against it, the stronger its force field becomes. No attacker can hope to penetrate it, not even Kashan.
What else?
Hide from us for long.
Find him quickly and let number 2 terminate him. Then have the robot bring me his head.
All clear, Admiral Rudolph. Scanners show no sign of any androids.
Good. Clear the decks and launch the chopper.
What is it? What's wrong?
My android body is powered by solar energy. It cannot recharge itself with all these clouds.
Then we'll hide till they pass.
We haven't time for that. You must leave me here.
No, I'd never be. Have you forgotten those prisoners at Castle Promise? You came to them in their darkest hour and made them men again. They found the courage to rise up against their robot masters. You are their savior.
But would they feel the same if they learned that I was a robot as well?
You're as human as anyone where it matters. You're not the man I loved, but you have his heart. Please, Kashan, don't give up.
When last we met, you ran off before the battle was done. But not this time.
Leave me now. Run, Luna, run.
But you haven't recovered your strength yet. You can't fight now.
The choice has been made. Come, Brenda.
We'll meet at the rendezvous point. I'll be waiting.
Attack and destroy the enemy!
Well, what are you waiting for? Hurry up!
So these are the plans of that gun your father built. From everything I've heard about it, it was sure worth the trip.
I can't go now.
What are you, nuts? Stop her!
Luna had reminded him of how he had restored hope to the prisoners in their darkest hour. Now she had done the same for him. Kashan was ready to fight on, ready to face the Black King himself.
Oh